Hello guys, welcome to the Wednesday trade recap and forecast. So we're starting with the euro and the US dollar. Let's see what this pair has been doing. We have gotten some movement on, I would say, all of the pairs. So this week has been pretty active. What I have been talking about is January is kind of the best month, or one of the best months for trading the trend. And according to my live trading experience and backtesting experience, January does produce some very good results. So let's see what will happen in the markets. Euro and the US dollar currently is descending, I would say. So we did get this, I would say it was okay momentum, nothing really to write home about, but I was seeing some bearish momentum and now we started to break the lows correctively. So we started to form a descending channel. As you can see, all of the lows are being broken very correctively. So it is moving in this descending. And of course, we expect the price action to reverse after a descending structure. So what I'm looking for on the euro and the US dollar, I'm looking for the price to descend a bit more. Show me more of this sort of price action and then go back to the upside, start an uptrend, and then I would look to get in on this nice uptrend. Right, so somewhere here. Or I would get in on a straight reversal as well. So if we descend a bit more, reverse, and then get in on a straight reversal. If this decides to go up like this, well, then I'll look to buy somewhere in this area, but I would like to see price descend more. Okay, so currently we have 1, 2, so we have only 2 corrective breaks of the lows, and I would like to see a bit more, like 4 or 5 consecutive breaks of the low. That sort of price action usually is very high probability to reverse in the opposite direction. We can also move to the downside as well. So on the euro pairs, it is not strange for a price to descend like this and then push to the downside and create a downtrend. So they are known for doing this, euro US dollar and the euro and the Japanese yen. That is a pair characteristics. So I would put this pair on the watch list. Euro US dollar, I would put it on the watch list. Then we have the euro and the Japanese yen. This one has been moving. Also, let's cover the pair price actions. So from the last recap from Wednesday, we were very flat. So I did not take any trades on EU. We were just very range bound, very flat. Going to the euro and the Japanese yen. So from last Wednesday, it was around here, I believe. And basically we went down, then we went up. So we kind of created a descending into an ascending channel, which usually signals further range bound price action. So this was range bound. Nothing really interested me. This was flat and range bound as well. And then we started pushing to the upside a bit in this corrective ascending structure right here. And on the top, we have gotten an impulse and we have gotten these double wicks, and now we have started retracing. So because of these double wicks, I'm seeing a major warning sign on the euro and the Japanese yen, and it's not looking good. So am I looking for a flag formation here like this? Personally, no, I'm not, because of these wicks, and also price action is not really that high probability. It is ascending but correctively ascending, so I'm not really seeing any high probability pattern in the price action. So what am I looking for on the euro and the Japanese yen? Well, I want to see price push up more. I want to see it break up, give me a nice big bullish candle with a nice clean close. Then I would probably look for a break and retest, possibly. Or push up with more momentum and then give me a flag further up and create a nice established uptrend. So this has potential. I would put it on the watch list as well. But I want to see more bullish momentum. So I'm not currently looking for a straight flag, as I said, because I'm just not seeing, first, the pair price action is not looking high probability. It's looking corrective. And then I'm seeing triple wicks on the top as well. So that's about it for euro and the Japanese yen. If we retrace down. So what could happen as well, we could form a V reversal, after which I do expect a range. And I do expect a trend to a downside to happen. So I shall look to sell in these legs right here. So going to the Aussie and the US dollar, this pair, let's look at the pair price action. So from Wednesday, we have been really flat right here. So we have been really flat. And then we started to create this descending structure, okay? So I wasn't really looking to sell anywhere in these legs because I was not seeing much momentum. I was not seeing much momentum there. And all of the lows were being broken correctively, right? So for example, this one broke, left wicks, broke, left a huge wick, and then retraced as well. Then we broke and retraced, and then we pushed down with a large impulse. So at this point, I was looking for possibly a flag or a break and retest to happen. So for something like this to happen, or a possible break and retest, but nothing really formed. Instead, we got instead we got a shift in momentum. Now I am in a trade on the Aussie and the US dollar. So it is one of our new entries for Zentum trading. If you want to learn more about this entry, once we launch, so we're launching tomorrow. Once we launch, you can join and you can learn everything there is to know about this particular entry. So you will also get the exact stop loss level and the trade management that goes along with this particular entry. Again, everything will be revealed once we launch at zentumtrading.com. So yeah, currently in a long trade on the Aussie and the US dollar. Again, I was looking to sell right here, but unfortunately momentum did shift to the upside. And when I'm looking to sell, I don't want to see any major bullish pressure. Okay, I don't want to see any major bullish pressure. So that's about it. What am I looking for now on the Aussie US dollar? Well, let's see if momentum to a downside can kick back in. And then I would look to sell further to the downside. Possibly we can get an established downtrend, like a push down, a pullback, and then another push, and then look to sell in this leg right here. So that is what I'm looking for on the Aussie and the US dollar. It's definitely moving down, so it's moving down correctively, but definitely I'm seeing selling pressure here, selling pressure here. If it decides to reverse up, then it would form kind of a V reversal, and then in that scenario I would look for a range and I would look for a push up and to buy somewhere on the uptrend. Okay, so buy somewhere in this leg or buy somewhere in this leg as well. So that's about it for the Aussie and the US dollar. Currently, as I said, I am in a long trade. I am gonna put it on the watch list as well, since price action looked high probability for our new entry scenario that we use for Zentum trading. Moving on to the Aussie and the Japanese yen. So let's see about this one. This one is kind of very corrective. I would not even say that it is in a corrective descending. I would not classify it as that. I would say it's actually moving very corrective and very flat, very range bound, especially in this general area. Okay, so it's looking very flat, breaking the highs, breaking the lows, breaking the lows, breaking the highs. Again, lows, highs, lows, lows. So what I'm spotting is basically on a smaller scale ascending into a descending, and what I'm expecting is more range bound price action like this. So that is my forecast on the Aussie Japanese yen. What I want to see? Well, on this pair, I want to see price push up, give me a large impulse up, or give me a large impulse down. So very, very simple. I want to see large momentum going up or large momentum going down, as the current price action is not looking high probability. So this pair is not on the watch list as of yet. Pound. Now the pound is looking very, very interesting, I have to say. It is forming a high probability pattern from last Wednesday. So let's see on Aussie Japanese yen from last Wednesday. Again, we did have this push down. I was looking to sell, just to quickly go over this. because we had a clean ascending channel here and then a nice strong bearish momentum, but we then got a bullish shift in momentum, after which I was no longer interested to take a trade. So that negated the whole setup for me. And then we just started ranging around, so nothing really was that interesting with the Aussie and the Japanese yen. Only thing was after this large impulse, as I always talk about, after this ascending, very clean ascending, I would say, because we have consecutive breaks of the high, we expect a nice downtrend to form. But not every single time, only like, let's say 70% of the time or 80% of the time, when you get the really clean ascending channel, you'll get a very strong down trend. So this is not one of those cases. Pound US dollar, last Wednesday was here, so we were flat, very range bound, and then we pushed to the downside. Because we were flat, I was of course not looking for anything. We did get some strong momentum here, kind of similar to the euro and the US dollar, right? So we had this push down, break of structure, but then or a bit of a descending, and then we continued with the momentum, but unfortunately we started getting a major shift in momentum, after which I was no longer interested in looking for sells. And now we have created a clean descending, okay? Look at how the lows are being broken very correctively. So look at these major lows, 1, 2, 3, so 3 consecutive corrective breaks of the low, barely breaking by a couple of pips. That's a very good sign price is ready to reverse in the opposite direction. And then we get the signature that the buyers are stepping in. Look at the size of this bullish candle. And at this point, I'm very interested to look for a setup. I want to buy. So when I spot a descending channel like this one, and then this bullish momentum, I expect this to continue trending to the upside. This is looking very high probability for me. It's gonna go on the watch list as well. So what I want to see is either a flag that has a bit of a range. Why do I need a range? Well, because we got a huge wick on the top. Okay, so we got this huge wick, which I really don't like to see. But if we do get a flat range with no major selling pressure, I will be looking to buy on a flag formation right here. Or a scenario that would be better for me is if this candle pulls back a bit and then we break the high and then we get a break and retest setup. So I would like to see a break and retest setup much more than a straight flag, because on the pound and the US dollar, break and retests with a nice clean close. So when the price pulls back a bit and then pushes up with a nice clean close on the top, they work really well. They have a good win rate and they usually bring a lot of percentage. So I'm definitely looking to buy in this area, either on a flag or on a break and retest or some other type of an entry to go long. I like the prior price action. Just be careful of the wick. Again, this wick is a warning sign. So yeah, just be careful of that. You want to see a bit of a range if you're looking for a flag formation. NJ, let's see. So last Wednesday was around here. So we did get I would say a very clean ascending channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive breaks of the high, similar to what we had right here back in December when we took that really nice trade going short that banked like 8%. But this time price did not reverse with some strong momentum, with some strong bearish pressure. Okay, you can see the strong bearish pressure here. But in this scenario, we just got a bit of corrective, a bit of a range bound price action. So that made this ascending kind of, it negated the ascending, okay? So instead of getting some strong bearish pressure down like this, what we got is basically a nice clean ascending going into a very corrective descending, very corrective. And now it's even going from this corrective descending into a corrective ascending. So it's not looking good. Look, you can see small candles everywhere, lots of wicks, huge wick, big wicks, huge wick, huge wick. Usually when you see this sort of a wicky price action, these smaller candles here, 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 that is not a good sign. If you're a trend trader, that is not a good sign. That is not a sign of clean price action. That is a sign that we will get more corrective and more range bound price action. So this pair is not on the watch list. It's kind of the same scenario as the Aussie and the Japanese yen. What I want to see is I want to see a large push up or a large push down. Very simple. I want to see this, or I want to see something like this. So yeah, I'm leaving this pair alone for now, seeing what will happen. I want to see a high probability pattern forming, and then I would consider buying or selling. These 4 pairs are currently on the watch list. We have gotten some movement. It is January. Usually, as I said, like the first 2 weeks of January are a bit slow, but then the 3rd and the 4th week are usually pretty nice, pretty active and trending. So let's see what we can get. Let's keep following the plan as well. Let's not deviate from the plan, become too aggressive, because that is a recipe for disaster. But again, be alert, do your forecasts, and closely watch the markets. That's it for this video. See you guys in the next one.